What is going on, guys? MG2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the top 5 Gunpla Kits of 2019. Now, there are a few rules for me to put this list together. First of all, it is grade indiscriminate, so any grade could appear on this list. Second of all, no leeches, so the second Victory Gundam, although it does have new accessories, it will not cut the list. Same goes for the TR6 Hazel 2. And third of all, they have to be kits that I built because I have experienced them, then I have a more constructive opinion for them. So any kits that I didn't build, for example the high resolution God Gundam, will not cut the list. Next up, they have to be kits that came out in 2019. So for the old kits that I reviewed, for example the G Savior, they will not cut the list. Finally, P Bandai are included. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown on how I'm going to do the list. So first of all, we are going to be having, of course, obviously the top 5 in possibly no particular order, but I'm going to try to rank them based on my personal opinion. And then we're going to have 2 honorable mentions. So in a total of 7 kits will cut the list. However, the honorable mentions are just a tad bit under the number 5 mark. So they will only be appearing in honorable mentions. So without further ado, let's get right into the list, shall we? So first of all, at number 5, we get the Earth 3 Gundam, and I mean specifically the Earth 3 Gundam because the Earth 3 Gundam does come with all of its accessories. And the kit itself is pretty good, but the longevity of it, especially when you play around with the planet system for multiple times, the parts will start to come loose. The shoulders are loose by default, but the articulation is great. The combination of the planet system does not impede on the articulation on the core Gundam. In fact, it actually does improve it because the legs can fully utilize the double jointed knees. The accessories that came with it are great, although I think it's kind of a ripoff of the Star build strike with a shield combo into the rifle to fire a bigger shot. But the rifle, I'm kind of sad that it doesn't have arms, but I do understand why it doesn't. And also the color accuracy is great, the execution on the mechanic is great. Overall, the Earth 3 Gundam does deserve a number 5 on this list, and I mean specifically that because one thing that is superior to all the core Gundams that came out in 2019, it does come with all the weapons. Next up at number 4, we have the real great Crossbow Gundam X1. Now, the one thing I really do want to address is that it does come with the ABC cloak, which is what I really love. Other than that, the kit also comes with all of the accessories, and all of them are usable, including the clamps on the front skirts. The actual aesthetics do look good. You do also get a piece to recreate the eye patch, but you need to go with it with the build. So yeah, you have to choose during the build. But anyways, the decals look good. The entire thing looks good. It also has all the signature features, for example, the core fighter. It does look good. Everything on this kit just really does look good. And of course, with the ABC cloak on, there is just nothing that will top this thing in overall silhouette. But the one big thing is, this thing is not groundbreaking. So even though I do have a lot of praise for the real great Crossbow Gundam, the fact that it is not groundbreaking is why it is lower on this list. Next up at number 3, we have the P Bandai High Grade Mudrock Gundam. So this thing came with fully original parts, which is 1 point of praise for this thing. Second of all, the articulation is fantastic, so you can pull off any sort of pose that you would want to pull off. And the accessories, although they are the generic Gundam loadout, it's nothing really too special. They're still pretty welcome as an addition. However, the one thing that dragged this guy down from a 10 to a 9, first of all, is not groundbreaking. Second of all, the shield itself, it is connected on a ball joint, so without the Mudrock's arms, you cannot use the shield on anything else. Although I know there are many GM shields out there that you could potentially use for a custom. However, if some of you weirdos out there want to use the Mudrock Gundam for a customization, especially the shield, you cannot use them on anything because ball jointed shields are not the norm yet. However, as I did say, this thing is just fantastic all across the board. I cannot find a single flaw that is attributed to this kit, so this thing receives a solid 9 out of 10. However, as I did say, it is not groundbreaking, so that's why it ended up on number 3 on my list. Up at number 2, is this any surprise to you guys? We have the Master Grade Gundam Barbatos. Now, why did I put my specific Barbatos in this position? It is because it does have its own issues. Now, from the reviews that I'm seeing, the issues on my kits are exclusive to my kit, I think. So I may just have the bad duckling of the runt, but anyways, the issues that it has is the arms being unable to support the mace, and the shoulder joints actually just stressing unbeknownst to me. But yeah, this all just due to the real construction. That's all the negatives. Everything I have left is positive. This thing just looks gorgeous. This thing, it sets an example for what master grade should look like. And also the inner frame is not an afterthought, but the most amazing thing about this thing is that it's not the backpack with the included arms. It is not all the piston movement, which yeah, it does have a lot of piston movement, which I really do love. Yeah, it is the fact that you do not have to modify the inner frame at all just to put the armor on. So if you guys do remember the 1-100 no grade, you have to swap pieces out of the inner frame and put the actual V fin on. Like, that's all I remember from all the other reviews I'm seeing. In this kit, you do not have to modify this inner frame a single bit. You can just straight up put the armor on there without any issues. So yeah, the interchangeability of the actual Gundam Barbatos and also the accessories, they do look pretty fierce, pretty nice. And basically the overall aesthetic of the Gundam Barbatos in the master grade form, it is outstanding. It is exemplary, if I may say so myself. So this thing is dragged down from the #1 spot because it is the issues that are on my kit. So unfortunately, that is why it is #2 on my list. Up at #1, this is no surprise to you guys, it is going to be the real great new Gundam. This thing is perfect to every single aspect. It does not have any loose pieces, swift articulation, and it is just pinpoint accurate to the actual anime line art. And I have to say, I had so much fun building this kit, especially when I have the figurized effect, so I do have a lot of fun posing it. However, the shield does actually drag it down, but other people have been telling me that is an exclusive issue to my kit, so I will forgive it for that. And it's just that teeny tiny aspect of it. If the shield issue doesn't exist, I will give this guy a 10 out of 10. This thing is just perfect to the bone. And so much fun to build. I had ultimate praise for it. That is definitely the best kit of 2019. So without all the loose pieces and just the fun building experience, this thing does deserve #1 on my list. Now we move on to honorable mentions. So first of all, coming on this list is basically two kits. So the Mars 4 and the V2 both made it onto the honorable mention slot 1. Now why did I say that? Because they both suffer from the same issue, the exclusion of the weapons. Now, they both are good kits, admittedly. The Mars 4 more so than the V2 because it does have some interactive parts. So first of all, you do have the claws, and that's basically it. The core change mechanic is still the same as the Earth 3 Gundam. The articulation is still the same. However, the exclusion of the weapons made me separate the Mars 4 and the V2 from the Earth 3. So yeah, it is unfortunate that these things, I really want to put them on the top 5. I really do. I really want to include them with the Earth 3 Gundam because they were practically the same kit. However, the exclusion of the weapons just dragged them down here. So yeah, there we have it. But by all means, if you're not a completionist and if you just want the armors for customization, go right ahead. And then the final kit to enter the honorable mentions list is going to be the High Grade Destiny Gundam. Why did I put it so low on the list? Although, yeah, it should be in the top 5, I know. But the one thing that dragged this thing down is the customizability of it. Because, well, the chest piece does have the collar that gets in the way of the double pegs. And then the arms are not customizable with absolutely anything at all. Because because the ball joint socket is in the shoulders instead of in the chest. So you have limited customizability for the Destiny Gundam's shoulders. However, this kit does come with all of the accessories, a slight bit of color inaccuracy here and there. For example, the handle of the Arendite and the barrel of the Mega Beam Cannon. However, these issues are not enough to drag it down. This thing just looks nice. It has great functionality. I really like the inclusion of the Wings of Light in there, and of course for those who wanted the effects parts for the Palma Fiocina. However, the inability to customize a lot of this thing, especially on the upper body, is what dragged this thing down here. So that rounds it up for the top 5 Gunpla Kits of 2019, plus 2 honorable mentions. So this is subjective opinion. Tell me in the comments below what you would include if you were to make this list yourself. However, I decided to say this list is comprised of kits that I built in 2019, so a lot of the more deserving kits will not and did not appear on this list. So yeah, it is a tough time making this list for me, but yeah, did have fun doing so. So tell me in the comments below what you think, and thank you all so much for watching. Peace.